Hello, truth seekers, and welcome to the Great Wise God Bible channel. Today we will be uncovering the story of Paul the Apostle. Buckle up for a great dive into the life of the one and only Saul of Tarsus. In the dusty streets of Jerusalem, a man named Saul emerged as a staunch defender of Jewish law. His early life was steeped in the traditions of the Pharisees, a religious sect known for their rigorous adherence to Jewish law. Saul was not just a passive observer of these laws, but a fervent enforcer. His zeal shaping his reputation as a relentless persecutor of early Christians. Born into a devout Jewish family in Tarsus, Saul was educated under the renowned Rabbi Gamaliel. Here, he was imbued with a deep understanding of the Torah and a fervent belief in the sanctity of Jewish traditions and laws. His passion for his faith, however, soon took a dark turn. Saul's fervor was not limited to preaching and practicing his faith. Instead, he saw the emerging Christian faith as a threat to Judaism, leading him to become one of its most aggressive adversaries. He played an active role in the persecution of Christians, viewing them as heretics who needed to be stopped at all costs. Perhaps the most chilling testament to his relentless pursuit of Christians was his involvement in the stoning of Stephen, the first Christian martyr. Saul stood by, approving and guarding the clothes of those who were executing Stephen, an act that instilled fear in the hearts of early Christians. Saul, driven by religious zeal, was feared by Christians, little knowing that a divine intervention was about to change his life forever. One fateful day, as Saul journeyed to Damascus, a sudden light from heaven enveloped him. It was a light unlike any other, a brilliance that pierced the noonday sun and plunged Saul into a world of dazzling, disorienting brightness. But it wasn't just the light that shocked Saul. From within this heavenly luminescence, a voice resonated, textured with authority and compassion, a voice that was both familiar and utterly alien. "Saul, Saul," it called, "why are you persecuting me?" It was the voice of Jesus Christ, reaching out from beyond the veil of mortality to question the very man who had been causing so much harm to his followers. Imagine the whirlwind of emotions that must have swirled within Saul: fear, confusion, and perhaps a flicker of understanding. He had been a staunch advocate of the Jewish law, a man who believed he was serving God by persecuting those who followed Christ. Yet here was Jesus himself, questioning his actions. Blinded by the light, Saul found himself in a world of darkness. He was led by the hand into the city of Damascus, where he spent 3 days in a blindness both physical and spiritual. He neither ate nor drank, lost in contemplation and uncertainty. These 3 days were a time of profound introspection for Saul. He was forced to confront his actions, his beliefs, and his very identity. In the silence of his darkness, he must have grappled with the reality of the risen Christ, the truth of his message, and the implications for his own life. In this time of darkness, Saul was not alone. A disciple named Ananias was sent to him, guided by a vision from the Lord. He laid his hands on Saul, and something miraculous occurred. Not only were Saul's physical eyes opened, but his spiritual eyes were too. He was baptized and began to eat and drink again, stepping into the light of a new dawn. In those 3 days of darkness, Saul was to experience a spiritual transformation that would change the course of his life. Emerging from the darkness, Saul, now Paul, was a changed man. His heart, once hardened, had softened, and his eyes, once blinded by hatred, now saw the truth. It was as if the scales had fallen from his eyes, and the world was revealed to him anew. He was baptized, cleansing himself of his past and marking the start of his new journey. With the water still glistening on his skin, he didn't waste any time. He immediately began preaching in the synagogues, proclaiming with conviction that Jesus is indeed the Son of God. His words echoed through the halls, a testament to his newfound faith. The people who had known Saul were taken aback. They rubbed their eyes in disbelief, their jaws dropping to the floor. Wasn't this the man who had persecuted followers of Jesus with such fervor? The same man who had breathed threats and murder against the disciples of the Lord? It was hard for them to reconcile the Saul they knew with the man standing before them, passionately preaching the gospel of Christ. Despite the threats against his life, Paul was undeterred. He knew the path he had chosen wasn't easy, but he was ready to face whatever came his way. He had found his purpose, his calling. Paul had become a new creation, a passionate follower of Christ, ready to endure all things for his name. From a persecutor, Paul became one of the most influential apostles of Christ. His life took a dramatic turn, leading him on missionary journeys that spanned continents. In these endeavors, Paul's drive and determination were relentless, his faith unshakable. He journeyed through Asia Minor, Greece, and even Rome, spreading the teachings of Christ. But Paul's influence didn't stop at his travels. He penned letters, profound and insightful, forming a significant part of the New Testament. These epistles, as they're called, were written to various churches he helped establish, providing counsel, encouragement, and wisdom. They continue to guide millions in their spiritual journey even today. Paul's enduring influence on Christianity is undeniable. His transformation from a fervent persecutor to a devout apostle is a story of faith, resilience, and redemption. Paul's life stands as a testament to the transformative power of God's grace, reminding us that no one is beyond the reach of God's love and redemption. This concludes the video about the great patriarch Paul. If you liked what you saw, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. This lets us know you love our content and encourages us to continue to put out more great content.